The final stop in a box office tour that spanned Australia and now crosses the Tasman starts now. It's the final round of the GT World Challenge Australia, powered by AWS, and a championship showdown we've been looking forward to for a long time. Welcome to Hampton Downs. We're on the international circuit. We're about an hour south of Auckland in the beautiful Waikato region of New Zealand. And today it's a showdown between Ferrari and Audi to decide the champion, or potentially take the fight down to the final day. This is the final round of a compelling championship that last time out was at the Bend Motorsport Park in South Australia, and it turned on plenty of action. GT World Challenge Australia comes to South Australia with so much on the line at the Bend. The Aston Martin gets the early jump, and Liam Talbot covers his racing line. Everyone swings across to driver's left. Is it the Aston Martin? Yes, it is. Liam Talbot off the road. The race leader has gone. Big Papa Smoke.
Someone's gone off in the background. That's Renee Gracie.
Away we go at the Bend. Great start. Jordan Wright jumps from the third right of the grid, and he's got two wheels on the grass trying to squeeze up the inside. O'Jada defending. Evans challenging Ryan Wood there. They're four wide behind. Look at the Audis coming. There was plenty of drama last time out at the Bend in South Australia, but from mid-September to early November, we welcome you to Hampton Downs Motorsport Park, the northern Waikato, not far from Auckland. It's a stunning part of the world, and the cars are rolling out for the penultimate race in an utterly compelling GT World Challenge Australia, powered by AWS Tour. Richard Craill and Andrew Waite for you in the commentary box for this one. Greg Rust will be in the Shannons pit lane as we build up to a championship showdown. The maths are pretty simple. Car 888, which is the Audi R8 LMS GT3 Evo 2, driven by Brad Schumacher and Brock Feeney, must beat the number 26 Arise Racing GT Ferrari 296 to keep the championship alive. If the Ferrari finishes in front today, it's game over and Arise lift the title once again. Outside of that, there are storylines everywhere up and down this field, with drivers making massive impacts, drivers looking for first wins of the season, and so much more. Andrew Waite, this should be a big spectacle this afternoon. Some of the fastest GT cars on the planet go head to head.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see this unfold, and so far this weekend it's been a great start for both Brock Feeney and Brad Schumacher. They've both scored 1 point each through qualifying, so they've only made a tiny little gain in their championship. But as you said, the maths is still pretty simple with that one. They have to beat this car that we see on screen of Jackson Evans and Elliott Shute.
That is the car that has been the pace setter all season long. The Arise Racing team, based in Perth in Western Australia. They've got the longest commute of anyone in the series, but they have been spectacular. Off the back of Jackson Evans being outstanding, but Elliott Shute doing a huge job in just his second full year of GT racing.
That's impressive to be doing what he's doing, and with only that amount of racing is fantastic. And these cars are not the easiest to get to grips with. They've got so much aero, such big tyres, it's hard to get the absolute most out of them. But to be doing what he's doing, leading this championship, and by a great margin as well, is great to see. And with Jackson Evans alongside him as well, he'll be getting some great help from him and, learning how to absolutely maximise the most out of these Ferrari 296 GT3s.
The job is on for Brad Schumacher. I spoke to him after qualifying. He did a 1 minute 30.3 to get pole for this race. It was only 6.5 tenths slower than Brock Feeney, who, by the way, is the current Repco Supercars Championship leader. It was an enormous lap from Brad. He said, I said coming here I was not going to leave anything on the table. I felt like the table was very much empty after that one. It was a mighty lap.
Yeah, that was impressive, wasn't it? This morning we were just blown away with the effort that he made and how well he put that lap together. It's super impressive. And you got to remember as well, Brock Feeney was 2 tenths up on the next best car in the pro quali. So you start adding that up, that's only 4 tenths off Brad Schumacher was from these pro drivers. So super incredible lap by him to get this weekend started.
He would have been right in the mix in the pro field, let alone the pro-ams. This is the circuit, Hampton Downs. It's the international version. There's a shorter circuit, but this is by far and away the most demanding one. 10 turns, 3.8 Ks. Something for everyone, isn't there? Some slow corners, but some high-speed stuff too for the aero of these cars to work.
Yeah, there really is. You start with turn 1, a lot of aero down there. It's got a bit of undulation too, drops away, you can't quite see the entry, then the massive braking zone down into turn 2 from 250 Ks an hour down to around 70, 60 Ks an hour. So huge braking zone down there. And you get into the sector number 2 is a difficult part of the track, which is the club circuit as it's known here at Hampton Downs is quite a difficult part to get right. And there's all sorts going on through. There's some awkward corners. It's a tight corner that sort of narrows up and then widens up again after that.
Let's go and hear from the man looking to take this championship down to the final day. He's with Greg Rust.
Kralsey, the Kelso electrical Audi has just rolled up to the front of the grid here at Hampton Downs. At the beginning of the year, Brad Schumacher talked about kind of sharing the driving duties with both Brock Feeney and Will Brown. Will is racing a TCR car in Asia this weekend. You've got Brock with you, and it's been a ripping start to the weekend so far. Your job in qualifying your own performance, you're energised for this, aren't you?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, nothing on the table for us here this weekend. We need to pretty much win 2 races, get 2 pole positions. So first box ticked, 2 pole positions. Came second in the Pro-Am last year, so I'm not going to come second again this year and say that I didn't do everything I could to try and get there.
You've got a great crew around you, Brad, and I know, like when I think back immediately to Phillip Island when we had a bit of a dose of rain, you played. That was a great strength of yours that particular weekend. We look at some cloud above us here at the moment. Have you looked at the radar? Do you think we'll get any?
I've stopped looking at radars on race weekends probably about 5 years ago because it doesn't matter what happens. Look, to be honest, I've always performed well in the rain, so actually if it does rain, I'm quite happy with that. Although obviously we've got pretty good speed in the dry here as well post-qualifying, so no matter what happens, it's fair race, and I think that Audi Sport MPC have given us a great car to fight with today, so fingers crossed we can get a good result.
Go well this weekend, full stop, there he is. Brad Schumacher, we're going to continue to walk the lane here. We'll just make sure that the NPC crew, I'll give them the little thumbs up so they can shut the door here. I think we've got little chance to wander the lane. I'll tell you, let's actually go over here to the wall because here's Jaden Ojeda. He's been in the headlines in recent days. Obviously, we were talking in GT4 there about the excellent opportunity for Ryland Gray with Dick Johnson Racing. How about this guy? Next round of supercars, you are going to be behind the wheel of the Premier Camaro. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's super exciting. Obviously, making my debut nice and early with Premier, which is always a good start for life in supercars, and getting a head start on 2026, which will be fun.
You're not here on the grid. I feel like you're the eager kid waiting to get behind the race car. How's the weekend gone so far?
Yeah, I feel like I'm about to give you an apple pie, and you're a kid that's come up on Halloween.
I'm a fan of apple pies.
No, it'll be exciting. Paul's coming out of P8. We've got our 15-second success penalty from Taylor Bend, so it'll be a tricky race for us. Hopefully a safety car in the second half of the race will bring us back into it, but anything can happen, as we saw in that GT4 race.
Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
We're about to clear the grid here. I don't want to get in trouble. Kralsey, to you.
Greg Rust to the principal's office, please. He'll be off the grid very soon as the field gets themselves ready. We saw the Volante Rosso, Shannons Aston Martin, a little bit late out of pit lane. They've got a window to get out of the lane before the pit lane was closed. So not sure whether there was an issue with that car. We'll try and get to the bottom of that with the VR team that find themselves on the front row of the grid. Again, they qualified very well. It's been a process for them to unpick that Aston Martin and learn its traits this year. But Josh Hunt sharing the driving duties with the double champ Liam Talbot this weekend. They're in a pretty good shape, I think, for a good result today.
Yeah, they are, and they've got their car absolutely hooked up, and to be starting off the front row of the grid is a great job, and you could see Liam Talbot there, just every lap he was getting quicker and quicker throughout the qualifying session, so not quite enough for Brad Schumacher though. Rusty?
We just got the thumbs up there as I left the grid from the Shannons Insurance Aston and the crew that are working on that. I'm not sure if it's gamesmanship or whatever it was. It did leave the lane late, as you boys detailed there before, but the indicator they've given me is there is no issue with that car.
Yeah, the only thing that raised my eyebrow with that one is, with championships with tyre warmers, yes, you can understand why they leave the lane that bit later, but there's no real need to. But as Rusty said, gamesmanship, that's what it's all about. It's the pointy end of the championship.
There was a mention from Jaden Ojeda of pit stop penalty time. So the mandatory pit stop time in these cars is for everyone. But if you are coming off the back of a win, a second or a third, you have to spend a little bit more time in your pit stop. And as a result of winning their first race of the season, Jaden Ojeda and Paul Lucchini get an extra 15 seconds. An extra 10 seconds will go the way of Ryan Wood and Steve Brooks, the local heroes, and an extra 5 for the Brad Schumacher Brock Feeney Audi. This is how it plays out in GT World Challenge Australia, powered by AWS. These are the same GT3 cars you'll see racing at the 24 Hours of Spa, the FIA World Endurance Championship, in IMSA competition, anywhere around the world now. Cups up for line in Pro-Am, Am and Trophy. No trophy cars here. Renee Gracie has already won the Am Cup and is in Pro-Am this weekend. This is the first of 2 60-minute races. There's a mandatory pit stop window. 5 minutes for the Am class cars first, and then the Pro-Am cars stop in their 5-minute window after that. And the driver that starts this race is the Am driver. They will finish race 2. So the pros will bring it home today, so it'll get pretty spicy at the end, and then they'll start race 2 tomorrow afternoon as we get set for the formation lap and then the rolling start here at Hampton Downs. It's been a long time since we've seen a full GT3 field racing at this venue, and there's an air of uncertainty about how this one is going to play out.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the way it's going to play out, and see that beautiful looking 296 Ferrari GT3 alongside the Audi of Steve Brooks and Ryan Wood as well. They're starting off grid number 4. In takeoff, Brad Schumacher with a nice big burnout off the line. Get a bit of rear temperature in those tyres. You see a few of them there as well as Elliott Shute. Nice little burnout as well. You might be thinking, oh, that's all well and cool. You know, they're just doing that for a bit of fun, but it actually brings that temperature up in the tyre nice and early, gets a bit of surface temperature going.
Here's how they line up. The Cream Insurance starting grid. Brad Schumacher on pole. Awesome lap. 8/10 quicker than Liam Talbot in qualifying. Steve Brooks off the second row alongside Elliott Shute. No pit stop penalty time for the Ferrari. They're in really good shape in this one. Renee Gracie out of P5 qualified well alongside Shane Smollen, who was awesome in that Mach 1 Racing Tigani Mercedes AMG. Sam Fillmore and Johnny Reid, they'll be a threat for IMS in the Audi R8. Paul Lucchini, we heard from Jaden Ojeda, he starts back after the top 10. Then Adrian Deek starts this one off of 14th position. He'll hand that car over to Tony D'Alberto halfway through, and Tony will bring it home. That's the scene. Interesting, a lot of people looking skyward, Andrew Wade. Now, you're the local. Can you please let me know what this weather's doing? Because our day today has been stunning all day. Bright sunshine, blue skies. The last half an hour or so, it's become very overcast, and there's some dark clouds in the vicinity. So what's the story? What's the verdict in the next hour? Is it or is it not going to rain?
I was just about to say maybe some cloud cover and some fast lap times, but a little bit of haze on the hills there. Maybe may think otherwise, and that's where it usually comes from, the left-hand side of the picture there. If the weather comes from there, that's where it usually ends up over the circuit. But it's not predicted any rain, but definitely that wind is picked up. Looking from our commentary position there, those flags are funneling the wind straight down that main straight, so they're going to have a tailwind down into turn 1.
There was some clarity as well from Motorsport Australia Race Control, who work with their Kiwi cousins in Motorsport New Zealand this weekend to put this event on for the Aussie category, so it's run under the same rules. There was some clarification over control lines. The Monochrome GT4 Australia race early today caused a little bit of stress in race control with cars going early. They have clarified on a restart when there's single file, no overlapping before the control line, which is the start-finish line. Those people at the top there have got the right idea. The Ferrari flag is flying, a cool beverage in their hand, settling back in to watch the GT World Challenge Australia return to New Zealand and the start of a championship showdown between Audi and Ferrari. It's Brad Schumacher and Liam Talbot on the front row. They will wait, and then they will unleash this field and run them down towards turn one in the penultimate race of the season. The championship fight starts now at Hampton Downs. Busy behind, Talbot immediately swings in behind Brad Schumacher. That's Renee Gracie on the outside, looking to go round. We can't get it done. Good start, Elliott Shute in the Ferrari. He and Steve Brooks are battling for third and fourth place. We're getting reports of rain at the back of the circuit at turn 10, a light shower perhaps. Liam Talbot looking to the outside in the Aston Martin on Brad Schumacher. He must beat the Ferrari. Contact the Ferrari into Steve Brooks. He half-turned him and then turned him straight again on the exit of the corner. These are the leaders. Racy start.
Is that an issue there for Elliott Shute? He's slowing up at the start of the race. That's massive for the championship. He looks like he's carrying damage. He ran wide there.
We're hearing light sprinkles of rain in pit lane now, believe it or not. Liam Talbot looking racy into the double B. Schumacher wide. Schumacher wide just keeps it on the racetrack, and Liam Talbot gets the race lead away.
An eye a bit further down as we're talking about for that championship. Doesn't look like there's too much going on. Maybe just ran a little bit wide, got a bit of marbles on the tyres, bit of pickup, which forced him even wider as contact a little bit further down the field. But for Brad Schumacher there, he'll be kicking himself, running too wide at the double B there. It's so easy done there. It's a fast corner. You've got cold tyres. You can't see where the track's going at that point. It's a very, very difficult part of the track. It would be hard on the AWS trying to get the car stopped, and that allowed Liam Talbot up the inside.
So Shute was for a moment third, but has now dropped back behind Renee Gracie. So P5 for the championship leading car. Schumacher back to second place. Liam Talbot leads. Steve Brooks up a spot to third place. There's Gracie, great start for the OnlyFans car. And then down to turn one goes Elliott Shute, followed by Shane Smollen, who had never driven the AMG Merc before yesterday. He has done a very good job. That was hugely experienced race engineer Phil Keed on pit wall.
Just having a further look at the Ferrari there of Elliott Shute. Just looks like the left-hand flick on the bumper there is broken. Doesn't look like there's too much more damage than that, but that's a heart-of-the-mouth sort of moment, isn't it, for their championship? Any sort of further implications from that could be very costly.
Sam Fillmore putting the pressure on Paul Lucchini in 6th and 7th position on the road. Lucchini's got past the IMS Audi, actually, with Shane Smollen further up the road. Behind them, Marcel Zalua and Grant Donaldson leads the AM class. 1 hour race. They've got time to settle in now and race their way towards the mandatory pit stop window and half race distance. But Liam Talbot in an Aston Martin that is energised at the moment has got 1.5 seconds all of a sudden over Brad Schumacher.
Yeah, great job by him. And Steve Brooks there, the Kiwi, sitting in third place as well. He said he wanted podiums this weekend coming into it, and that's where he is at the moment, sitting in P3. He's come from strength to strength in this championship, hasn't he, Richard? From where he started to where he is now, it's really improved his driving massively, and to be running in the top three and the GT World Challenge Australia Championship is a massive, massive effort by him.
He was really keen to challenge himself at the start of the season to get among the Aussies and see where he stood up. As we see the Zagami Autosport car, Cameron Campbell going wheel-to-wheel with Stephen Wyatt. The two Ferraris wrestling over turn one. This is Campbell's first GT World Challenge race.
And that is awkward down into turn one there. You can see the spits of rain on the camera. They will be seeing that on their windscreens. Do I brake at my normal braking marker? Can I push on? Or do I need to brake that a little bit earlier? That rain always makes things a little bit awkward. If you start seeing the wipers come on, that's where you start trying to work out, do I need to brake earlier? Because if that rain's getting harder, it just makes it that little bit harder knowing where you're going to stop the car. basics just start settling in. We're 9 minutes into this race, long race. Ahead of us is the two Ferraris, battle away up into the double B. Looks like you can see where you're going from that shot there, but it is very blind and bumpy through that section.
Great battle going on here. Grant Donaldson under serious pressure in the 111 racing car. Goes by Axel Donaldson. He and Darren Curry have done a lot of racing internationally this year. A lot of the 12 and 24-hour series races. They were at Dubai earlier this year. They've got big plans for next year as well, I'm told. Enjoying their time here at Hampton Downs in the 111 racing Mercedes AMG, being attacked by these two Ferraris behind. Talbot out in front, 32-1. It's not fast, if we're honest, given where they were qualifying in the 30s and the 29s, but given the conditions at the moment, the fact they're still working into it, the pace not bad, but more importantly, I think relative to everyone, the Aston Martin's a second lap quicker at the moment.
Yeah, that's a massive start for him there. And we saw how far he was away he was in qualifying. He was 8/10 off Brad Schumacher, so to turn that around, they obviously made some good changes to that car to get a bit more out of it. You can see a bit of smoke coming out of the Mercedes AMG GT3. You want to keep an eye on that because that's got to be carbon running on that tyre, and it's cutting that tyre up, and if you get it any further through, it can cause a blowout of one of these things. You don't want that to happen anywhere, so the team, I'm sure, are keeping a very close eye on that.
Running in 13th position at the moment, second in the AM class. Adrian Deeks just behind in the very colourful red and white Lamborghini Huracan GT3. Talbot 3.3 seconds, 132.1. Plays at 33.3 for Brad Schumacher last time by. So the Aston has comfortable pace now, pulling away out in front. Notably, so Schumacher gapping Brooks, but then off the road a little bit further back was Shane Smollen, who is chasing down the Arise Racing Ferrari. So that was the point I was going to make, is that right now, relative to everyone, Elliott Shute does not have a lot of car speed, the championship leading car, and he's staring down the barrel of a big point swing towards the 888 Audi.
Yeah, it's just quite interesting seeing the way this race has started. You've got to think they're on a full tank of gas at the moment, around about. They're 120-litre tank, so that is a lot of weight to be carrying around. And with that as well, you've got to think of the car and the balance of the way you've got it set up. So the car's going to evolve as the race goes on. Rusty?
Just walked into Black Wolf Motorsport, so the Shoots Woodman Mercedes AMG GT3, you both have been keeping a close eye on with that puff of smoke coming from the bodywork that's clearly rubbing on a tyre at the moment. Now, I can see some Motorsport Australia officials liaising with the likes of Phil Keegan there at the moment. I think they're gambling on, I mean, they need to do at least another sort of 10 or 11 laps before they would pit, and they're hopeful that he can stay out there and just press on with that at the moment, but they are monitoring it very closely.
Down into Shannons pit lane, thanks Greg Rust. We follow this battle with Sam Fillmore chasing down Shane Smollen, a GT4 Australia champion, a Pro-Am champion in Porsche Carrera Cup 1 make racing as well. It's a pretty feisty battle. The Wade replay has the start. So let's just keep an eye on the Ferrari. So Elliott Shute broke traction. The thing snapped sideways on him as he fired the car down towards turn 1. A little bit further back in that side-by-side battle, but keep an eye on what went off a little bit further up the field here. Paul Lucchetti sticking down the inside there, had a very big go on Renee Gracie. This little bit further back, a little bump there. Stephen White, they all checked up. Cameron Campbell as well, and that was what caused the damage to that front corner of the Black Wolf Mercedes AMG.
Just having a little look at the weather radar as well. It doesn't look like there's any more rain incoming at this stage, but Hampton Downs is its own little eco-climate here, so sometimes there may be no radar warnings of rain, as we see Sam Fillmore have a little look up the inside of Smollen there, not able to quite get the move done.
Pedersen to jump in this car in the second half of the race. Great to have a couple of the Kiwi teams involved to show how good NZ GT racing is. We've seen Mach 1 Racing today already do a really nice job in the GT New Zealand battle, and IMS, well, their CV in motorsport is outrageous, and the amount of trophies they've got in their Auckland base tells their story so well. But it's good to have them as part of this field, and they're really enjoying the challenge to see where they stack up against the top flight teams from GT World Challenge Australia. So this fight is for 6th and 7th position on the road at the moment. Liam Talbot still the leader, and the margin is 6 seconds. He is driving away in front of this field, and two supercars rivals that this weekend are teammates are watching on. Brock Feeney on the right, Ryan Wood on the left, just anxiously waiting to see what their drivers do. They're currently running 2nd and 3rd.
Nervous Wade sitting there wanting to get in the car. All you want to do as a driver is get going as soon as you can, but they're looking pretty relaxed down there. They'll be having a bit of banter. I'm sure they're going to come out somewhere near each other on the track as well. So you can see the wipers starting to go on some of the cars, so there's clearly that rain still forming down towards turn 2.
Ray Gracie's doing an awesome job here running P4. No pit stop penalty time in that car, and Damon Leach to plug in at the co-driver change. So they're in pretty good shape in car 181, stepping up into the Pro-Am class. And if you are only just joining us, or if you haven't watched GT World Challenge Australia this season, Damon is the brother of Brendan, who made such an impact with the late great Tim Miles earlier this season in that Audi, and has elected to not run the back half of the season, which is understandable. Brendan's actually off overseas. I think Lambo Super Trofeo finals coming up at the moment. Very, very busy man, but great to see his brother here in the field showing how fast he is up from his home down at Highlands Motorsport Park, bottom of the South Island. And that OnlyFans Audi is going well, and it is not going to let this group of cars behind pass. The rear of that Audi is going to become very wide for the remainder of this stint.
Yes, it is. It's certainly going to get that way with the way that there's a bit of pressure mounting from behind. But you can see she's still got the wiper on up over the main straight with that precipitation coming down. Rusty?
I'm with the 2024 New Zealand Grand Prix winner, Liam Skeet. Sorry we put you out in a little bit of a sprinkle of rain. Fantastic to have you here at Hampton Downs. What do you make of the GT3 racing?
Oh, I'm loving it, to be honest with you. GT3s are starting to look like going to be the new route for me, the new pathway. So no, loving being here, supporting Sammy and Johnny Reid, wishing them go well. Yeah, it's really enjoying it.
You've been boxing hard with the United States and things like that. Well done on what you've been doing there, and sort of keeping the New Zealand dream alive abroad, haven't you?
Yeah, this year in the States and last year. Last year was successful. This year was a bit more of a battle. Yeah, I wish I could say I was heading back there for another crack, but I don't think that's going to be happening for next year. So yeah, as I said, looking for new kind of beginnings, and GT is kind of what I'm looking towards. But yeah, hopefully someday in the future, come back to the States, race in Indy, and keep moving towards that end goal of IndyCar and the Indy 500.
And Richard, if that's not enough for you, he was entrusted with some very special cargo recently, ferrying them for New Zealand Fashion Week, if you don't mind, for the Giltrap Group. Nice to see you, mate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, precious cargo. No pressure. Great to see Liam in the paddock. Great to see a move on here. Almost down the inside went Sam Fillmore on Shane Smollen. Couldn't quite get it done at the Porsche Dipper.
Had a good crack up the inside there. Sam Fillmore, certainly a hard racer. Threw it up the inside. Wasn't quite able to make it stick. But as the race is going on there, he just seems to be finding a bit more pace. As that gap between 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th rages on. 42 minutes remaining for this one, as Liam Talbot out to 9 seconds now.
This is, dominant performance from the double GT World Challenge Australia champion. Pulling away out in front. They don't have extra pit stop time. This is a clean run for them, assuming no safety car, of course, which would bring them right back to the field. The pressure will then go on Josh Hunt, hugely experienced guy, champion race car driver in Australia and a co-owner of the Valente Rosso team. Hasn't raced competitively in GT World Challenge for some time though, so the job will be on for him after the pit stop sequence. This is a good battle though for Grace, Shute, Smollen and Fillmore. 4th through 7th position with Paul Lucchini following them in the Realtor car. It's a great shot from the 6th drone cam, just showing the undulation. That's the famous double Bs. And then into the hairpin, big stop. Slow speed at the apex, and then they fire up the hill towards the Porsche Dipper. And Sam looking to have another run here. Smollen on it for the defence. This time he sends it, and this time he gets it done. And Fillmore goes down the inside. Smollen will get the better drive off the corner. but Fillmore will be well positioned going into the final corner and should hold on to that position.
Great move by Sam there to get it done on Smolin there. It looks like he's just started to get more and more pace as this race is going on. But that lead for Talbot, what a change of events from this morning with qualifying, when Schumacher was so much quicker in qualifying, 8/10 to now being 10 seconds down on Liam Talbot. So that's a massive change. And obviously they got that car well dialed in for the race for Liam Talbot.
An 8th and a 6th at the bend, but they were in contention throughout the weekend. They're on raw speed, and a famous victory in the rain at Sandown in pretty dramatic circumstances for Liam Talbot that weekend. So they've had a bit of success in the Aston Martin this season, but nothing like what they're putting together at the moment. 9.9 seconds. Call it 10 now over Brad Schumacher, who is second. This fight continues. That move from Sam Fillmore on the Wade replay was awesome. Struck me as a bit of local knowledge there. Just had the confidence to commit to sending it down the inside.
Yeah, it's quite a strange style at Apex there, because it's not your natural hairpin. The way it tightens up to the sort of pointy area of the curve, there's actually a lot more road on the inside than you think, and it's also blind. So from this shot here, you can see you can't actually see where the road goes. So when you've got that trust and that commitment, you're able to throw it up the inside there with confidence.
Racing towards the pit stop window opening here at Hampton Downs. Final round, GT World Challenge Australia, powered by AWS. This is the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th position. Renee Gracie more than holding her own at the moment. There's a level of excitement around her stepping up to the Pro-Am category, because in the Am class, she has been as competitive as pretty much everybody in that grid this year. So add the pro talent, Andrew, to the combination there and that ability to punch on with the likes of Brock Feeney and Ryan Wood puts them into contention. And she's won the trophy class, she won the Am class, and now sights set perhaps on a Pro-Am win.
Yeah, she'd do fantastic if she did step up to that and be a great opportunity. And just looking at the lap times as well. So that last lap from Liam Talbot was 8/10 of a second quicker than Brad Schumacher. So he is absolutely flying, just extending that gap every lap out to 10 seconds. They're going to be hard to catch.
And having passed Shane Smolin, Sam Fillmore is now on the attack and looking to work his way past Elliott Shute, who needs to be smart about this. Cannot afford to have any damage to the Arise Racing Ferrari. There's no championship to play for the IMS Racing Audi, who goes down the inside once again. It's almost a carbon copy on the move. He pulled on the Mercedes AMG a lap ago. Nice pass. Fillmore gets another one.
That is a massive move once again, throwing it up the inside. They have that IMS Alliance Audi dialed in for this one.
Spoke to he and Johnny Reid during the lunch break today. They were meeting and greeting some of the fans that were on a very popular pit lane walk, and they said their biggest challenge this weekend has been dialing that car in for the Pirelli tyre. They've been running it on another tyre in the endurance races here in New Zealand. Said it's been a massive change to get their head around that. But they felt like they were making gains every session with unpicking this Audi R8 and getting it working on the Pirelli. And clearly right now, especially in these conditions, it's working extremely well.
Yeah, it's quite a unique tyre, the Pirelli tyre. What it does is it's a tyre that doesn't come on fast. It takes a long time to get up to the operating window, which makes it a fantastic tyre to go racing with. It produces a spectacle for qualifying as well, because every lap we just see get faster and faster, and there's this big long window where the tyre just keeps giving you lap time. So it's so different to any other tyre that you can run.
Sam will be loving this.
Oh, he will be.
He's such a character. Massively enthusiastic about his racing, always energised in the paddock, passionate about it. He'll have a massive grin behind the helmet, I'm sure, with this drive as he moves himself up to 5th place, and knowing that he's got Johnny Reid to plug into that car as well.
Yeah, for sure. He'll be asking if there's a spare space in the containers to send his car back to Australia for next year.
Well, there's a Bathurst 12 hour coming up.
And
He'd be
that.
very welcome at, I'm sure. There is the great man, Johnny Reid. Look at him. How good to have him back in the paddock. Hugely well-credentialed guy, and he'll be very fast. In the middle of the shot is Nick Williamson, who runs IMS Day today these days. They're based in Auckland, actually opposite the Giltrap Group's headquarters there. just outside of the CBD in Auckland. Very impressive setup. They've got a car restoration business, and the memorabilia when you walk into IMS is just extraordinary with what they've achieved. This is Brad Schumacher, 12 seconds behind the leader, 6 seconds in front of Steve Brooks, just on his own at the moment, and looking for a big haul, potentially, of championship points.
Just having a look again, there was another 9/10 on that last lap that Liam Talbot managed to pull off.
Just a reminder of the classes there, the black highlighted position on your timing totem left of screen is Pro Am with the yellow highlight. Just the 2 Am cars this weekend. Grant Donaldson leading the way in the 111 racing car with Shane Woodman second in class and 13th outright at the moment. Not far away from the pit stops, and then after that the pros get in and things will go even quicker in the back half of the race as they charge towards a checkered flag. 6th drone cam with beautiful shot as this Audi R8 runs into turn 10, massively wide all the way through, and then the run uphill towards the start finish line. Sam Fillmore continuing to chip away and pick his way through this field as Brock Feeney starts to get himself ready to jump into the Kelso Electrical Team MPC Audi R8. Pit stops aren't far away. Ryan Wood still looks pretty relaxed. Brock getting the race suit on. The brains trust at the Melbourne Performance Centre squad ready to go. Liam Talbot leads the race. He's 0.8 of a second quicker than anybody per lap at the moment. It's 13.2 seconds to Brad Schumacher with Steve Brooks in 3rd place. The Kiwi going well. Fillmore flying and only half a second behind Renee. Pit stops not far away. This has been a crushing performance though from Liam, who's based in the Gold Coast. I'm sure wife Charlie and the 2 girls are watching on from home. I think they had some Halloween activities going on yesterday there up in Brisbane. So g'day to the family. I'm sure they're watching. And girls, if you are, Dad's doing an awesome job at the moment. He is driving away from this field.
And there is no better feeling than that. Being out in the lead like that, pulling away. You've probably got the team telling you, look, you're 7, 8, 9 tenths a lap quicker than the field. Look after the tyres, and you'll be replying going, I am. I'm looking after everything, and you're still pulling a gap. That is the best feeling as a driver, being able to pull a massive gap like that while everything still feels well under control.
Amazing season last year with the Arise team Ferrari, and then parted ways in the off-season. Change of position. Sam Fillmore's march forward continues. He's worked his way past Renee Gracie. That's P4 now.
That's an impressive effort. Got the move done on Renee Gracie. And now there is a big gap up to his rival, Steve Brooks. These guys battle away together in the New Zealand Endurance Championship. But he'll have his eyes set forward as Sam Fillmore fires it up the inside. Got the move done precisely, with confidence. And we head down.
Couldn't wait for the Porsche dip, but did it corner before.
Yep, that's the one. Got it done nice and easy. See Damon Leach there getting ready to rock and roll. Got his little booster seat there. They'll plug that into the car once Renee gets out, and we'll see what Damon can do.
Slight Damon Leach, so let's get the little seat in there to get him a little bit more height, a bit closer towards the steering wheel. A little bit further back, the leader coming up to lap Adrian Dietz in the All Racing prepared Lamborghini Huracan. He gets out of the way. Original livery on that Lambo was based on that iconic BASF Porsche livery way back when from the Le Mans 24-hour. And then they've tuned it up. A bit of a Sydney street artist actually got involved in making that look pretty as we see the first pit stop. So the AM class cars get 5 minutes to themselves to stop first before the window opens for the Pro-Am cars. So both of them are in pit lane now. 111 Racing team will go to work a little bit further up the lane, and now the Black Wolf Motorsports crew as well. So it's a time stop from pit entry to pit exit. You get the penalty time as we touched on if you've had success. 76 seconds from in to pit out, about 240 metres of pit lane here at Hampton Downs. So it's not the longest pit lane of the season, but the entry to it and the exit to it are really challenging.
Yeah, they are indeed. You can see the guys with that right front wheel off the car there. That's obviously the car that we saw with a bit of smoke coming off the right front, so they're just going to do a bit of repairs on that while they can. Check the tyre, make sure it hasn't cut too much out of it. Do they put another tyre on or not? in this situation, you're better to be on the safer side of things. You've got the opportunity, throw that tyre on and check there's no carbon hanging out that's going to rub back on the tyre. Perfect opportunity for these guys.
The Boiler Hour tape will do its job here on the front aero appendages of the Mercedes AMG GT3. The beauty of these stops in these racing, this has taken longer than the 76 seconds they had, but the beauty of it is that you've got a bit of time to effect some repairs and make some changes. You'll see teams bleeding tyre pressure down as well. As Talbot circulates around again to complete another lap. The margin 14.5 seconds now. Absolutely crushing them at the moment.
And that's the thing, as I was saying, when the cars are a bit heavier like this, they give you a different sensation. They're not as nimble as what you'd otherwise like. You go to hit the brake where you normally would, and they just sort of carry on that little bit more, and you get a bit more ABS intervention, and it sort of takes away that confidence as a driver, especially for the AMs. They struggle with that different feeling a little bit more rusty.
Just walked in and had a word to Phil Keed. The work that was done there to the Chutes Woodman car ran 7 seconds longer than their mandatory pit stop time, but they wanted, exactly as you boys described, they wanted to get it right to make sure that that body work at the right front, the splitter, was okay and it wouldn't rub again on that new tyre they put on.
Greg Rust in Shannon's pit lane. I don't normally put requests in, Rusty, but I'm looking forward to hearing from Sam Fillmore when he jumps out of that IMS Racing Audi R8. He's going to be bubbling after that stint.
Yeah, he certainly will. It's been a massive effort by him to this point. As we're still eyes on Brad Schumacher doing a fantastic job. Very, very fast. One of the best AM drivers in this part of the world. As he'll be getting the call very shortly to bring it into pit lane and hands it over to Brock Feeney, who will do all he can to try and maximise that margin and keep that championship hope alive.
Well, on that note, if they finish the way they are, and by no way means am I suggesting they will, because things do tend to change pretty quickly in this style of racing, if they finish the way they are, it's a 10-point swing to the Audi, which makes the gap exactly 20 points with 25 up for a win. So it'll be a case if you're saying there's a chance going into the final race, there will be still very much in the mix.
Tell you what, my eyes just lit up there, Smolin there, sideways out of turn number 8 there. Your liquor straps laid down. You don't often see that in a GT3 car, but why not?
Might have the traction control wound down a little bit.
Yep, or broke straight through it. Either or, it was pretty impressive seeing him slide out of there, but he'll be ticking down, getting ready to box very, very soon to hand over to Ann Pedersen.
When I had a chat with Shane earlier, here's another look at what got Andrew Waite so excited. It's a little bit of right foot induced oversteer, perhaps.
Yeah, so there's actually a bump there. So what he's done is he's hit that bump as he's got a lot of load on those rear tyres, and it's basically just broken through the traction control, overloaded the rear tyre, broken through the traction. So it's something that can happen quite easily on that bump.
He's been racing in monochrome GT4 Australia this year in a little Porsche Cayman 718 GT4 car. They said, do they compare? He's like, nope. Not even slightly.
Not
said the Merc
close.
is just a completely different animal, but had not driven that car before they came and tested here on Thursday this week. So really good adaptation process for Shane.
Well, they're just such a confidence-inspiring car, these. They are great for an AM driver to jump in and obviously get to a point, trying to find the last bit of time out, and of course they're a hard car to do so, but they just inspire you with so much confidence. All that aero, the electronic aids, the ABS, the traction control, you just get in there and every lap the car, it's like the car's asking you, just give me more, give me more. They just got everything. They're just so well balanced with the massive tyres and all the aids.
Pit stop window open for the pro class cars, and among the first into pit lane, Arise Racing. So Stephen Wyatt will jump out and hand over to the very fast West Australian Jordan Love, and just in behind them, Sagami Autosport are in the lane too, with Josh Buchan to take over their Ferrari on their debut after a pretty solid stint from Cameron Campbell at the start of that race. And now the second place car is in. Out will jump Brad Schumacher, in will jump Brock Feeney on a day that could very much help their championship chances. They've got a bit of pit stop penalty time to serve, so their 76 seconds will last a little bit longer than everyone else's. The Wolfbrook car is in just behind as well. Ryan Wood to take over from Steve Brooks. Liam Talbot, meanwhile, continues onwards. Everyone else has either been in the lane or is in there right now. The Volante Rosso team are leaving that car out as long as they possibly can to maximise the job that Liam Talbot is doing.
Well, he's doing a fantastic job, isn't he, with that huge lead. The only thing you risk there is if there is a safety car, but you've got the rest of the field in pit lane, so the chance of a safety car is reasonably slim to affect them. But while he's dialed in, leave him out there, let him punch out as many laps as you can. Rusty?
I am so looking forward to the second half of this race, and that is because we have some gun operators that are joining the mix that we've seen in the entire championship here. So enter Josh Buchan, a multiple TCR champion. He's in great shape. Looking forward to seeing what Johnny Reid can do. Just seeing Ryan Wood leaving the lane here now. This is going to be awesome, guys.
Yeah, can't wait to see this unfold. Some sharp operators and some pretty cool cars. There is a lot to unfold in this race, and Josh Buchan as well. He's doing a fantastic job as well, qualifying that car beautifully this morning for his first qualifying outing in a GT3 car, so he'll be in amongst the mix too.
And what a drive by Liam Talbot. I've been fortunate enough to see a lot of Liam's races over his journey, right back from when he started in One Make Radical competition, basically came from nowhere. That is among his best, I can safely say, having won 2 championships. To pull 15 seconds on the quality of this field, that is a huge performance. So this now becomes the race. The Kelso electrical car is heading up towards the Porsche Dipper, turn 9. The Aston Martin is sitting in the lane with Josh Hunt about to take over. So this will be the battle on the road, ultimately, between the two of them. Steve Brooks in the mix. Johnny Reid will take over, so it's Ryan Wood who'll be in the 88 car. Will cleanse the field with everyone having completed their mandatory stop. So there goes the Aston Martin on the 6th drone cam. This long, really complicated pit exit. You're turning for a long time there. Don't cross the blend line. And justifiable celebrations down there at Valente Rosso. That is a massive stint from Liam Talbot. And the result is that is the race leader at the end of it, and we'll sit and wait now for Brock Feeney. So there is Brock. We'll need another lap just to get the proper cleared margin. But that's it. That's first to second place on the road. That is the fight. There's 23 minutes and 50 seconds. The Audi team's rung up Brock Feeney on the radio and said, that's your gap, go and chase him down.
Yep, press on, and once you get that gap in your sights, it is just head down. You don't need to hear too much from the engineers in the lane. You just want to focus as much as you can on closing that gap down, but that's going to be a tall ask with 23 minutes to go. But Brock being Brock, he'll push on.
Oh, now, here we go. Johnny Reid versus Damon Leach. This has got a bit of fun potential written over it, I think, and up the road from them is Ryan Wood. So there's Kiwis everywhere in this field. So the OnlyFans cars actually come out in a really strong position. And just in the mix there as well will be Jackson Evans. So there's another local hope who is going to be scored 6th after that round of pit stops in the Arise Racing Ferrari.
Just us Kiwis doing our thing.
Oh, just dominating Australian motorsport as usual. Can't win a thing against you lot. Cricket's about it. That's all we got at the moment. 22 minutes to go. So Liam Talbot, just check the margin for you over Brad Schumacher, Brock Feeney when he crosses the line. 13 seconds, Rusty. It's 13 seconds first to second in the Shannons pit lane.
Well, you're talking about Aussies versus Kiwis and kind of man of the match performances. How about this young fella here? You really gave it heaps there. Well done.
Oh, Rusty, it was good fun out there, eh? It was some great battles, so I really enjoyed it. Just took a bit of time it's taken us a bit of time with the Pirellis thing, their heads around them, and we're still getting our heads around them, but yeah, it was good racing, it was good fun.
You had terrific confidence at the Dipper. Is that a little bit, the boys were asking in commentary, is that a little bit of local knowledge coming into play? You enjoyed dive bombing people there, didn't you?
Oh, mate, I've done a few laps around here, so you know a few places to pass, but it's good when you can have good, clean racing like that and people give you room, you know. That's the best sort of racing, especially in these cars because they're expensive to fix.
We've enjoyed watching it too. Thanks for doing that, Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
The brutal honesty of a guy who owns a GT3 car there, I like that. First and foremost in his mind, the damage bill if you bring the thing back bent to IMS. Oh, I love it. He's a great character. So Talbot, 13 seconds. So Josh Hunt behind the wheel to Brock Feeney. Then Ryan Woods, 19 seconds further back. Johnny Reid is in 4th position. Damon Leach in 5th position. Jackson Evans in 6th position. But if there's a race on here, the race is going to be on between Josh Hunt and Brock Feeney. And Brock Feeney has punched out a purple first sector. He's punched out a purple middle sector. And I am not a betting man, but I would argue that this may well be the fastest lap of the race. It is. Punches out a 30.6 Brock Feeney, a casual 1.4 seconds quicker than Josh Hunt. 20 minutes to go, 11.5 the margin. Definitely a chance that this race goes to the end.
Yep, it's going to start heating up as the clock ticks down, especially once he starts getting him in his sights. You'll be able to just see him in the braking zone as he's exiting turn 1 there. And once you have that, once you can see the car in front, it's just so much easier to manage that gap and know what's happening. But there's a good shot for us. Can't quite see Brock in the background there at the moment.
But you will soon.
You will indeed. And the team will be on to Josh Hunt as well. Just let him know. You've got a fast car coming very, very quickly up behind you.
We know Brock Feeney's an incredible racing car driver, and what he's done in supercars this year, his qualifying pace has been extraordinary. But then you go back to the Gold Coast a week ago, and he was in a pretty solid second position, but had a massive run at Chaz and almost beat him, almost put the thing in the wall doing so. But his GT3 ability over the journey has been, I think, the thing that stood out for mine. Had no background in anything like this coming into it. He basically started racing supercars in Super 3 as we watch a very feisty battle with Johnny Reid. I'll come back to the Brock Feeney story because this is feisty. The Kiwis are all over each other. And Jackson Evans, who wants a few more positions from a championship point of view, is getting in this. Leach sends it down the inside. A little bit of contact on Johnny Reid. Jackson Evans is going to fight on this as well. Is the Ferrari going to get a spot? Yep, he's going to get one. Could be two here.
That was up on that curb. That curb on the inside is quite high, so Damon's throwing it up on that curve. Would have been on 2 wheels passing Johnny Reid, and then now he's got Jackson Evans all over the back of him. Oh, that was a big move.
We all saw his name on the entry list and thought, yeah, this is going to be fun. He's going to be spectacular one way or another. Well, there's the tick in that box. What a pass. And Jackson Evans, right place, right time. Nice move in the Ferrari, risk-free to get one free spot on Johnny Reid. And now he's going to go after that Audi and try and get another one. Every position Jackson Evans gets in this race, in that Arise Racing Ferrari, is another couple of championship points buffer over Brock Feeney and Brad Schumacher, who are flying at the moment and closing in on the race lead.
Of course, Damon Leach ran a little bit wide down into turn 2 there. The pressure on the back of him from Jackson Evans.
Jackson Evans is pressing on, the battle on. A little bit of lap traffic ahead as well. Racing car Ben shoots. Does he do the right thing and get out of the way to driver's right? Yeah, he does. That's good heads-up driving. Probably took the overtaking opportunity away, but they'd rather be clear of that car now and have a clean lap. Evans has got a great run out of the Porsche Dipper regardless. And he's going to have a look down the inside into 10, is he? Leach blocks aggressively, covers his line. Does it open the door for Jackson, who gets the nose of the Ferrari up the inside of the Audi? But there wasn't quite enough space.
And that would have affected Damon's run onto the straight. He got onto the grass just a little bit. He's going to defend his line down into turn 1. Jackson Evans on the outside with Johnny Reid in behind. Tries a long way around. It is a very long way around turn number 1. As Damon Leach sideways on the exit, and that gives Jackson Evans the run up the inside towards turn 2.
GT3 racing and its absolute finest. V10 Audi versus V6 Turbo Ferrari. And now Johnny Reid's going to look up the inside. Says, hey, I want my spot back, please, Damon. And there's, contact between the two of them. Damon says, no, you're not getting it back at the moment. Jackson Evans cleanly through and gets that position and moves up to 4th place. Oh, that's good. Good racing. Good racecraft between them. A little bit feisty between the two Audis in the end there, but that was awesome.
Evans just runs wide as well into double B. Sorry to interrupt there. Got a little bit wide on entry. Gave Damon Leach another sniff up the inside, but I think the outright pace is for Jackson Evans. It's a little bit quicker at the moment. I think that gap's going to open out just a little bit. But what a great drive by these guys. All these 3 Kiwis battling on super hard. Great to see.
Oh, you got great race car drivers here, Andrew. It's amazing. I love that you can see Jackson change his mind halfway through turn 1. He was half committed to going around the long way there, but thought, no, it's better if I just tuck in behind the Audi and get the better drive off, and that set up that whole move all the way down that back straight into turn 2. Great racing, great racecraft, and all of a sudden P6 becomes P4, and that's a bunch of valuable championship points recovered now for the Arise Racing team in this battle with Brad Schumacher and Brock Feeney. Good racing this, isn't it?
It is. It is what we want to see. Some fantastic racing in the Alliance Services Hampton Downs GT International. 15 minutes remaining in this race, and I feel like this battle between Johnny Reid and Damon Leach is an ovary. That Johnny looking like he's got a bit more pace now, starting to put a bit of pressure on the back of Damon, and these guys are sharing a garage as well, so I know there'll be a bit of rivalry between them, making sure that they're going to beat each other.
If they finish the way they are, the championship still goes down to tomorrow, so it's not done yet. Seconds now behind Ryan Wood. Good luck catching Ryan at that pace in pretty equal machinery. But you never know, there's still 15 minutes to go in this race. And I feel like we're going to get a battle for the race lead as well, because Brock Feeney continues to nibble away. Seven 0.1 seconds is the margin, first to second. Josh Hunt is being hauled in by Brock Feeney. There's 15 minutes to go. 1 minute 31.1 last time around for Brock Feeney. The race leader 31.8. So it's taken Josh a little bit of time to get into his work, but the pace is building in the Aston Martin. As he gets more comfortable in the car and the conditions, he is going quicker.
Yeah, we're just looking at that last lap as well. It was 0.7 of a second that Brock Feeney managed to close in, which at this rate is not going to be quite enough to get to the back of me. He'll get there or thereabouts, but time is ticking down very, very quickly. As we'll just keep an eye on it, because the lap before was a second that he pulled out of him, but it was only 0.7 on that last lap. There's traffic to play into this as well. How good can they get through the traffic without being held up?
Ryan Wood last time around 30.6. 1.2 seconds quicker than the race leader. So this could all pack up and condense as well. So Woody is absolutely flying, and now he's in clean air. Jackson Evans has got mighty pace in the Arise Racing Ferrari too. So the pros are aboard, the pace is ramping up. There's just over 13 minutes to go. If the things finish the way they are, 22 points will be the championship margin between the leading Ferrari and the number 888 Audi, and that will be enough to take the championship battle into the final day.
I know there's traffic involved, but that last lap was nearly 2 seconds. 1.7 is what he pulled out of him in that last lap. It is now down to 5 seconds. How quickly can Brock Feeney get through this lap traffic up ahead? Can he get through cleanly? All of a sudden, that 2 seconds in that one lap makes it achievable.
Oh, here we go. Here's the Team Kiwi Audi Cup going on here. Damon Leach still holding on from Johnny Reid. This is the battle for 5th and 6th position. It's been immensely entertaining. Johnny sticks the nose out in the run down into turn 1 in that bumpy braking zone. You can see the waves and the tarmac down there as they stop. You and our colleague Ronan Murphy snuck down there to catch a bit of action from the side of the racetrack. It's a big old stop from 250k.
Yeah, there's not many opportunities to get to go and watch GT3 cars down into turn 2 there. It's very, very cool to go and hear and see them, see what they're capable of. It's super impressive.
I should mention that my colleague Andrew here is among the more frustrated racing car drivers I've ever seen this weekend. He spent some time driving these cars very recently and would very much love to be out there on the racetrack. We're lucky to have him in the commentary box for his insight into the race, but you can't take the racing driver out of a racing driver, can you? They always want to be in the race car. As this fight continues, 4.8 seconds the leading margin. Good response from Josh Hunt last time round, 31.3, plays at 30.7. So Feeney's still quicker, but about 0.6 of a second between the two of them. Shannons pit lane has been a busy place in this one, and that's where we find Greg Rust.
Krause, I thought I was doing plenty of steps today, but a nervous Renee Gracie's been going garage to garage. Has it been tough to watch this? It's been exciting for us.
I've been waiting for this all year to have a Pro-Am run and to actually show everyone what I'm made of with a good pro in the car, and now it's happening. I'm really stressed out. It's nerve-wracking. I think I've just been wanting to do this all year, and now that it's happening, I'm stressed.
Twofold question here. Firstly, congrats to you because you helped set that up with your own stint, and good choice in picking Damon Leach here locally.
Yeah, it was something that I had on the cards for a little while. Obviously, having Brendan earlier in the year as a teammate, I got wind that he had a really good brother that was a good driver as well. So that was in the back burner. And then when I tied up the championship, obviously at the last round, I thought, why not? Let's just get a good local Kiwi in and have our best shot at trying to give this a good go.
Okay, thank you for talking to us. Keep those fingers crossed. In the meantime, I'm going to wander over to Steve Brooks here because Ryan's doing a cracking job. When you pitted there before, a little bit of damage to the bodywork on the outside of the car, but it didn't seem to be holding you up.
No, it wasn't holding me up. Into turn 2, me and the Ferrari of Elliot Shute just came together. It was all good, and then I got away and then handed it over to Ryan. He's doing a fantastic job at the moment out there.
You told us at a recent round of the championship, you've had a great year in Oz, but you wanted a really rock-solid weekend here at Hampton Downs. This is a nice start.
Yeah, that's it. Look, I actually thought I'd be a little bit further with a hometown advantage, but no, the Aussie boys in front, Brad and Lamb, they're just going absolutely fantastic. So, no, I'm really enjoying it out here.
Thank you
very much. Cheers.
Well, if Renee Gracie was stressed before, it'll be even more so now because Johnny Reid has got the nose of the old IMS outie up the inside at turn 10. Had a little half a look on Brendan Leach. This is a great battle. It continues on. Leach a little bit wide on the entry to turn 1. Brendan, I reckon, will be watching on from Europe. Damon, of course, behind the wheel.
Yeah, he certainly will be watching on, I'm sure. G'day to Brendan. He'll be cheering Big Bro on, who is doing a fantastic job. Just holding out Johnny Reid, who just ran a little bit wide there. Looked like he got a bit of understeer on the way out of turn 2, and that's opened that gap out just a little bit more. Just looking as well at those lap times between the leaders. It's only 4/10 of a second that Brock Feeney pulled out of Hunt on that last lap. So it's closing, but with only 9 minutes remaining, maybe not enough.
Josh Hunt has risen to the occasion here, hugely experienced. He lives on the Gold Coast now, but he's been racing for 25 years. Open wheeler, spent some time on the pathway to IndyCar back in the day in what was Indy Lights. Came back to Australia, he set up this Valente Rosso outfit, still drives regularly, not in a full-time capacity. He's too busy building the business with his business partner Chris Papadopoulos, but still a very fast racing car driver. Gets a lot of seat time in Radical Cup cars, which aren't that dissimilar from a platform, from an aero and a tyre point of view.
I spoke too soon. 1 second is what Brock Feeney pulled out of Hunt on that last lap. That gap is coming down. That race is back on again. Every time I say, I don't think it's going to happen, it closes up big time. Look how close it is now. You can see on our 6 drone cam, this gap is closing down. 8 minutes remaining. Once you can get it within that 2-second range, that's where you seem to slingshot onto the car in front. So Hunt will be now seeing that car from behind closing up.
Should you roll the inevitable cliche of catching one thing, passing the other, or should I? I'll do it.
You go on.
Well, catching is one thing, Andrew, but passing is another. So Josh Hunt will make that Valente Rosso Aston Martin as wide as he can. Do you know what the best thing is? It's his car and his team, so if it comes back with some scratches, it's on him, so it doesn't matter. Let's see what happens. Shannons Insurance jumped on board that car this year. They've been a great supporter and have been really well backed. Liam Talbot's donated an enormous amount of money this year to charity as part of what they've been doing with that Valente Rosso squad this season too. 1.9 seconds now. A little just asterisk, we've just seen a very fast lap time set by George King. He's in the 55 Valmont Guy Racing entry. Did a 30.4 last time round, so he was the second quickest guy on the racetrack behind Brock Feeney. So they've been speedy all weekend, that team. Qualified well, and they're somewhere in the mix tomorrow as well.
What a pressure cooker for Josh Hunt. Seeing Brock Feeney close the gap like he is doing. That last lap was a good 7/10 that he pulled on him. As we see the Kiwi battle, the Audi Cup, as Richard Crail called it, down into turn 1. 6 minutes remaining. Can Johnny Reid get the move done?
There's been some great banter between these two. They've been in the same garage all weekend long. Bit of a tribute signage on the Johnny Reid car coming into the weekend as well from the IMS team, which was very well received in the right approach by the opposite side of the garage in the OnlyFans car. So it's been really entertaining to see this play out, and it's another really good battle. 5th and 6th place on the road. Jackson Evans is still 4th, Ryan Wood still 3rd. Unlikely anything happens there, just with the margins they've got. And still the battle for the lead continues, but this right now is the closest on the racetrack. 2 very evenly matched Audi R8s going at it.
Yeah, as you were saying before, so hard to get that passing manoeuvre done, especially with the aero on these cars, the dirty air they throw off. It makes it so hard to get those passing manoeuvres done, and this is where it's a good opportunity. These slower speed corners with the mechanical grip is more important. But Johnny not quite able to get the run off turn 8 there to make a move into the inevitable turn 9, as we saw his teammate Sam Fillmore doing.
Leach holding on, 1.2 seconds out in front now. The IMS car looks really strong through turn 10. That's a couple of laps in a row now that Johnny's has carried more entry speed into 10. Sort of has half a look at the middle of the corner there, but I get the feeling it almost compromises him going out of it in a way. But still, that car is quick. Full credit to IMS for how they've tuned that car up to run on the Pirelli tyre and get it as speedy as the Team Audi Australia, the MPC cars. Liam Talbot, right of the box, the bottom corner, watching on. His co-driver's under pressure. He's got Brock Feeney behind him. Brock is racing for a championship. Oh, big sideways moment for Damon Leach. It's hard to know where to look at the moment. The battle for the lead is on, and the battle between the Audis continues. And Johnny Reid ever closer. Where does the opportunity come? Here are the leaders. The 6 drone cams showing it beautifully. Great run out of the final corner for Brock Feeney. Gets in the toe of the Aston Martin, gradually edging forth, closer and closer to the Aston, plunging down the hill at turn 1, and then this long run down to 2. 250 k's an hour, a big stop. Josh Hunt puts his car in the middle of the road. What does Feeney go? He sends it down the inside for the race lead at turn 2. 4 minutes to go, and the Audi gets to the front.
Nice move by Brock there. Hunt thought he had enough room covered to the inside for Brock not to be able to get through, but just snuck it up the inside. What a move. Gets it done, and that is Brock Feeney into the lead of the race. This is good for their championship.
The confidence to commit under brakes down there at high speed and know that he could pull that move off, and great respect from Josh Hunt. Just an Audi width on the inside to get down the inside. Great pass, and that is a big moment in the context of the race and the championship as Brock Feeney wrestles the lead away from Josh Hunt.
And that's harder than you think, because when you're in behind a car like that, especially with those massive rear wings, you cannot see the road ahead. All you can see is a car in front, a green Aston Martin. You can't see where the track width is, so to be able to fire it up the inside like that was a pretty well done move.
Right, now we've got the lead out of the way. We can go back to this battle between the 2 Kiwis in their Audis fighting it out.
Especially with them both being in the same garage as I mentioned before. There's a bit of pride on the line here, wanting to beat each other.
Hey Andrew, that pass makes the championship margin tomorrow 15 points all of a sudden if they finish the way they are. So we are at this stage going down to the final day of the season. And as we've seen, when championship pressure is on, crazy stuff happens in our sport.
And to add to that as well, we've got Brock Feeney on pole tomorrow as well, so it is advantage them in terms of track position going into tomorrow.
Where does Johnny Reid make this move? It feels like it's going to come, doesn't it, at some point at the end of this one?
It is certainly brewing, that is for sure. And Damon Leach, he's been working that car super hard on those Pirelli tyres, but we know how good these Pirellis are. They don't fade off. They seem to stay with the car, so that's allowing Damon to just press on as much as he is and manage to hold off Johnny Reid there.
Josh Hunt still in second place. It's 20 seconds back to Ryan Wood, so barring a major drama for the Aston Martin, they should be on for P2 for Valente Rosso. As Sam Fillmore watching on down at the IMS racing camp. Jackson Evans still sits in 4th position at the moment, 16 seconds behind, and then 6 seconds up the road from this battle. So this is their best fight on the racetrack at the moment. Axel Donaldson and Darren Curry still lead the way in the AM class. They're 13th on the road. They've had a pretty stout race in this one. They're not that far away behind Tony D'Alberto, actually, in the Lamborghini, who has climbed up to 12th position, having car over in 14th place, so they're looking in pretty good shape. And Tony will start that Lambo tomorrow, which will be good fun to see. He's been pretty speedy this weekend. TD enjoys driving that car. As we go back and find Jaden Ojeda. So this is for position. He's got Jordan Love in front in the Ferrari, and Ant Pedersen further up the road in that Mach 1 Racing Tagani Autosport Mercedes AMG. So Merck, Ferrari, and Merck having a little battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th position.
Gotta love the sound of those Mercs, don't you? The V8 fluttering away. Great car.
Pit stop time probably cost the Realtor crew today. They had that 15 seconds of extra pit stop penalty time. And Jaden has done some pretty remarkable things in that car over the journey and dragging it forward when he gets behind the wheel. And full credit to Paul Lucchini, who's been super fast, but ultimately just that extra 15-second whack makes it very, very difficult. And you get in track position and you're racing guys that are every bit as fast and as talented as you are, like Jordan Love, makes it hard to work forward, especially without any safety car help. Still nervous down there at Team MPC. Just got a little couple of car lengths, hasn't he, the last lap or two?
Yeah, Johnny doesn't seem quite as pacey as he did earlier on. The problem with that is when you're stuck under the wing of a car in front, you just use up those front tyres so much more. With the aero wash, the front of the car isn't as loaded on the ground, so you work that tyre so hard that it just makes it very, very difficult to get the most out of it, to get the move done. So it's sort of what it feels like at this stage of Johnny. Just doesn't have that fiery pace. He did a bit earlier, but Damon, that's actually just a completely different line there. Super wide on entry, but look at the launch he gets out towards turn 10.
3.9 seconds, the race leader, not far to go. The clock's ticked to 0. Just get confirmation of whether it's this lap +1 or whether this is the last tour. 3.8 kilometre Hampton Downs International layout. What a drive for Brock Feeney. Brad Schumacher anchored it at the start, but Liam Talbot disappeared up the road. But Feeney hunted down Josh Hunt, made the pass, a bold move. I think he knew he had to attack quickly. He didn't cook the front tyres on that Audi being stuck up behind the Aston Martin for too long. He pounced when the opportunity was there. Speaking of pouncing, Johnny Reid's trying to do that on Damon Leach, who blocks very late in the braking zone up to turn 2 to cover off his line. And once again, Johnny Reid finds himself stuck behind the rear end of the OnlyFans Audi.
Putting all sorts of pressure on him. This is a hard corner to stay up under the wing of the car in front. You can see Johnny there trying to stay out of the aero wash as much as he can. But look at that gap, that opens back out as soon as they get higher in speed. The car just doesn't have as much control as we've seen Brock Feeney come across the line.
Checkered flag flew, and that is a massive victory for Team MPC and the Kelso Electrical Squad. They take valuable championship points out of the Arise Racing Ferrari, and this one will go down to the final day of the season. A massive win, the third of their season, Brock Feeney and Brad Schumacher.
It's great for Steve Brooks and Ryan Wood as well, coming home in third place, getting that podium they were after as this battle rages on all the way to the last corner. Johnny Reid not quite able to get it done over Damon Leach. Fantastic drive by Damon, managing to just hold Johnny off.
That's been a battle worth watching. Fantastic stuff. The Audi Cup, the Kiwi Audi Cup for those two. Was like a one-mate category, but a great show, and I think there'll be some laughs in that garage after this one. Jaden Ojeda got past Jordan Love at the end there in the Realtor Mercedes AMG for Tagani Autosport, so crosses the line in 8th position. Third podium finish of the season for Steve Brooks and Ryan Wood, so another trophy for those guys, still looking for that first race win. They've got one more opportunity. It'll be tomorrow or not at all, and they'll have to come back in 2026. But what a drive from Brock Feeney to hunt down Josh Hunt in the end. He pulled 13.5 seconds out, and with 5 minutes to go in the race, he pulled a move at turn 2, and the Kelso Electrical Audi grabs the victory. And provisionally will draw within 15 points now of the championship lead, with Elliott Shute and Jackson Evans finishing 4th.
That championship is more alive than ever at the moment, isn't it? As the pressure cooker mounts at the end of this championship.
That is about the closest the margin has been all season, because Schumacher DNF'd the opening round. So well done, Brad Schumacher. Well done, Brock Feeney. They're the winners Liam Talbot and Josh Hunt, I think they'll be happy with a podium finish. P2, really strong result. Steve Brooks and Ryan Wood home in third place. Elliot Shute and Jackson Evans next. Renee Gracie and Damon Leach. The battle for 5th and 6th between Reed and Fillmore was really good fun. Axel Donaldson and Darren Curry, who was in the car at the end, claimed the AM class win over Shane Woodman and Ben Shute. So congratulations to the boys in the 111 racing car. Highlights, race 1 in the final round of GT World Challenge Australia. And while it was advantage Audi early, it didn't take long for Aston Martin to strike. And Liam Talbot, one of the best drivers of his career, got to the race lead and said, "See you later, I'm out of here." Disappeared up the road and at one point had almost 15 seconds.
A few sprinkles of rain to start off the race as well. We saw a few commanding passes for Sam Fillmore making his way through, and then this battle throughout the race just started heating up more and more. There's Sam Fillmore and Renee Gracie there.
Terrific drive. That was the margin after the pit stops. Josh Hunt leading, and then down the inside was Damon Leach with a huge move, and that brought Jackson Evans into the fight too. And these could be 2 absolutely critical positions for the Arise Racing Ferrari on a day where they didn't really have top 3 pace. They salvaged 4th and some championship points. This was the fight for the lead. It was great stuff. Massive commitment in these aero-laden high-speed GT3 cars. Brock Feeney sent it up the inside, grabbed the race win by just under 5 seconds. Josh Hunt and Liam Talbot home in 2nd. Steve Brooks, Ryan Wood in 3rd. That was a fun car race. And there's going to be some discussions on that on the Allied Petroleum Victory Lane when we hear from our winners in a great show in GT World Challenge Australia. And from a big picture point of view, these guys haul some championship points out of Arise Racing. The title battle will go to Sunday here at Hampton Downs at the Alliance Services GT International. I'm looking forward to hearing what these two have got to say. That was a great drive, Rusty. You're in the Allied Petroleum Victory Lane.
I'm going to kind of dive in the midst of a debrief between the pair of them. Richard Crowell is talking about what that does from a points equation tomorrow. That's really cool. Keeps it 100% alive, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that equates to. Is that 13 points now or something? Anyway, yeah, it's awesome to get the win. Double pole today, and then, yeah, keep ourselves in this championship. Look, I owe Brock a Pepsi tonight, actually. Red Bull tonight. I owe Brock a Red Bull tonight, mate, because, yeah, geez, you did an awesome job out there, Brock. That's amazing to get the win for us, mate. Can't thank you enough.
Were you crunching the numbers? Did you think you could get to him with the time that was left and so on? I mean, it was pacey, wasn't it?
Yeah, to be honest, sitting in the pits, Rusty, I didn't think I was going to be able to get it just due to our 5-second pit lane penalty from the previous success penalty thing. So, yeah, I knew it was going to be about 20 seconds by the time I got in, but on those first couple of laps, I was able to sort of pull a couple of seconds already. So we figured out pretty quick that the math would work out and I'd be able to get to him, but it's always another thing to pass him. So credit to those guys. Liam did a fantastic job there to pull that huge lead. Brad's like a pro, so for Liam to do that at the start was really impressive. But as Brad said, we're here to win a championship this weekend, and we've rocked up. We've got 2 poles and a race win, so I wasn't going to let that one slide. Yeah, he could have blocked me all he wanted, but I was going through no matter what.
The focus might be championships and Bathursts in supercars, but you have shown the world what a quality all-round driver you are. Congratulations to the both of you today. Well done.
Thanks, Rusty. Cheers.
There you go. All right, there are our top 2. We're going to try and get, where's Josh Hunt and Liam Talbot to come on over. Come on over. We'll get 2nd place. We'll talk to them before we jump into the podium here. Come on over to Victory Lane, you two. They're getting a little bit of a congrats, a nice, respectful thing for the Valente Rosso team. Josh, come on over here. Dive in for us. Well, hopefully Liam will be with us in a moment. He was coming like a shark, wasn't he?
Oh, he was. I tell you what, some rust got blown out in that run for sure. It's to see what he does every week in the supercar, and then he deserves it because wow. There was a hole there that I didn't think was there, but he made it work. So all credit to the boys. They were so fast, qualifying and that race, like amazing, but very cool to be a part of.
What's that mean for you? I mean, you've had different drivers in the car this year. You've got it from an ownership perspective. I mean, that must feel pretty sweet.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's always good fun to get in. I mean, I try not to get too tied up with it. We were lucky enough to get Jamie for the 2 races that we did. He's an extremely busy young man, and unfortunately he couldn't make this one. So I jumped in and filled the seat, and how's this guy? What a legend. What a legend, 12 seconds.
Was that a mega lead that you built at the start there?
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating all year. Our BOP hasn't been correct. We had to throw tyres at it, so it probably gave us a little bit of an advantage. But, yeah, I mean, Josh did nothing wrong in that stint, did everything he could, and just got motored in a straight line. So, unfortunate, but P2 is a nice way to finish the day. And, yeah, I want a double podium. I want to go again tomorrow.
All right, well, you've got another chance to do that, so well done to both of you on today.
Thank you.
There you go. All right, let's try and get third place in here. Can we get Woody in quickly and Steve Brooks? Thank you, boys. We're going to get the podium underway very shortly, but a quick word with third outright today. Hey, good hustle there from both of you, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, an amazing stint by Brooksy. He didn't give up, and yeah, we had to carry over a penalty from the last round. So yeah, to come away with a trophy after having to serve 10 seconds is credit to him. He gave us the buffer, and I just went out there and just had a bit of fun. So really cool to see our teammate grab the win. Yeah, for us, we've got to dig deep tomorrow and try and convert into a race win, because that's what we're hunting for. So yeah, all in all, pretty happy. Nice to be racing at home, and yeah, can't thank Steve, everyone at NPC enough for, again, giving us an opportunity to go racing, and for me, just sharpening my tools.
What you're doing at Walkinshaw, I know, is the thing that is really driving you at the moment. But this has been an awesome project this year. To think that you can come and do that and get a podium here, well done.
Yeah, with the amount of money I've cost Steve this year, I'm surprised he keeps asking me back. But no, we have a really good laugh, and you know, Roscoe comes away with us. He's our mediator, so he keeps us in check, but I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, just can't thank Steve, his family, his mates, and everyone that's involved that lets me come racing with them.
Congrats! I think you said it beautifully there. I mean, the first stint was great for you, and it set up what's been, you know, what you're targeting this weekend.
Yeah, that's it. Look, you know, the car was set up really well by NPC. Ryan, again, he did an absolute stellar job, and I reckon we're going to be on the podium again tomorrow.
Okay, well, let's make that happen. You've got one for today, so congratulations to the both of you. I think, ladies and gentlemen, we are just about set to get straight into podium mode here, if we can. So welcome, everybody, to the podium presentation for race one of the 2025 GT World Challenge Australia, powered by AWS, right here at Hampton Downs. Delighted to have with us to present the trophies today, Steve McLaughlin, on behalf of Pirelli. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome your top 3 place drivers in the Pro-Am class. In third place today, representing Wolfbrook Team MPC. How about making some noise, Steve Brooks and Ryan Wood? Collecting the trophies there and heading to the podium. We now go to second place for Shannons Valente Rosso Motorsport in the Aston Martin. Ladies and gentlemen, what a drive. Josh Hunt and Liam Talbot. And the winning combination for Kelso Electrical Team MPC. It makes for an awesome finish to the championship tomorrow. Be loud in your applause. Brad Schumacher, Brock Feeney. I'll collect the trophies and head to the podium there. Nice gathering of media from both sides of the ditch to capture the moment. So all smiles, please, drivers. And we still have another big day of competition to come your way for GT World Challenge Australia, powered by AWS. Thumbs up from your winners. Ladies and gentlemen, your GT World Challenge Australia winners on Saturday here at Hampton Downs. Drivers, time for the celebrations. Now, we have a double helping for you from a podium perspective here. We're about to do a little reset here in Alliance Services Victory Lane. And we'll get the AM class podium happening your way in a moment. Brock Feeney showering us with champagne. I'll try and stay away from that. Thank you. Brad's pretty happy about it, and that's because the points fight is nice and close going into the last day of a very memorable championship in 2025. The good team here from SRO Australia and from Hampton Downs are just resetting with some champagne. I think we have the trophies ready. We have got the thumbs up. So ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the top 2 place cars for the AM class here today at Hampton Downs. How about being generous in your applause from Black Wolf Motorsport for Shane Woodman and Benjamin Schutz. And now your first place combination driving for the 111 Racing Proprietary Limited team in the Mercedes AMG, Darren Curry, Grant Donaldson. Bit of cheek there with some photos being taken. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your GT World Challenge Australia, powered by AWS AM Class winners. Drivers, it's time for your celebrations. So we're going to grab a break in our coverage here, but we are not done yet. When we come back, some breaking news as we wrap up a huge Saturday here at Hampton Downs.